What do you call a collection of hip atoms? A molecule. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Bubsy 3D. Best game I played on the stream in a very long time. I'm actually very excited to get back to this game. It's not good. This game is not good. But, I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun with it. So, I'm excited to get back to it. We are going for a complete 100% playthrough. We are collecting not only all the rockets, but we are collecting all the atoms as well, even though the game doesn't track them. So it's going to be a very long, painful, and tedious playthrough. Very excited to have you join me for it, my friends. Let's welcome everyone in, starting with Dead Zergling was first in chat tonight. Just so you know, Frownie, I have the urge to listen to the opening of Ape Escape. Been going on for the last couple hours, and I blame it all on you. Pookie Stan, welcome in. Lucid Jelly, welcome in. Back to quality gaming, Pookie says. Zergling says, as long as it isn't Splatterhouse 2, I'm happy. You just want to see me, suffer. Scheming Miner, welcome in. Hope you are well tonight, and cows are important. Great to see you, cows. We are just about to get rolling. Zergling says, I actually used to kind of like Splatterhouse 2, but just seen it too much. Well, there's nothing I could do about that, Zergling, until I beat it. Eximus, welcome in. Hope your day is treating you well. Back to fine gaming classics like Bubsy. Yeah, Bubsy 3D. Here we go, my friends. Back to the journey. And let's go ahead and start pressing some buttons even. Not good, but the best kind of not good. Yeah, so Bubsy 3D has the most, it's an ugly game with the most bogus controls, but I don't know, it's really bad, but it's also kind of good. So, we're up to stage 8. We've gotten all the rockets so far. I believe we have gotten all the atoms on every stage up to this point. I will have to go back and check the VOD to make sure, because the game doesn't track the atoms. We are going out of our way to complete an optional challenge that the game doesn't care about. And on this stage here, you can see I got one of the rockets. I got 198 atoms on this stage last time. I was too short of perfect, so we do have to get all the atoms too. How did I get 32 lives? Look at that life count. 32. What is going on? Hey, Mile High Roll, welcome in. Thank you for the wheel. Knowing Frownie, he'll declare Deathless Splatterhouse 2 no longer good enough and go for Damageless. Well, I mean, if I'm going for Deathless on Game Master, that means I get 1 hit per stage. How much harder is Damageless, really? Don't tempt me, Zergling. Don't tempt me. I would have thought the max lives you could get was 9, Jelly says. That's a good point. It's you know what? It's shocking. It's not. Can I tempt you? Mile Hyrule says. You can attempt. We got... I don't know what that is. It's not warheads. It's the other thing. It's jalapeno lime sauce. What a friendly spin. Damageless has to be easier than Austin Powers. I don't know. I might have been working on Splatterhouse 2 for about as long as Austin Powers. Easier to accomplish, maybe not, but easier to want to accomplish, definitely. And welcome in, Kusarigama. Thank you for joining us. You can do Splatterhouse 2 damageless, I believe. Next to your username, Mile High Roll, I was kind of I had trouble reading that SH as Splatterhouse. I figured you would have been telling me to do damageless Silent Hill. You can say it with me, my friends. All of the little bottles on our wheel come from a set of cute little miniature bottles called the Good Hurt Fuego. We are currently sampling from the milder end of the selection set, but over time, they should become fairly intense if the labels are to be believed. Jalapeno lime we've sampled a few times. It's bright and tart. It's exactly what it should be. It's actually a treat. Wheat cracker is not necessarily the best way to enjoy it. I'd rather have it on some fish or something, but it's not bad. Wow, that is way more tart. I even said it was going to be tart, but it was way more tart than I expected. It's not really very hot. It's not very hot at all. But it's very, very lime. I was typing out do Silent Hill 2 damageless as you said that, Maliro says. If I played nothing but Splatterhouse 2 like I did with Dr. Evil Knievel, I would have gotten the Deathless Run by now. You're probably not wrong. I don't know. I don't know why I sometimes can laser focus on a task and sometimes I cannot. Still can't do Silent Hill, Kusarigama says. I know, blasphemy. I liked, I enjoyed the Silent Hill games. I've only played 1 and 2, and I've only played each one time. We did them on the stream. And, I enjoyed them. I actually like Silent Hill 1 more than Silent Hill 2, I think. I have more memories of Silent Hill 1 than I do of Silent Hill 2. It made a lot more of an impression on me. I think it was a more fun playthrough overall. Although I feel like I got really lucky with Silent Hill 1 because like there was this crazy like spinning doorway puzzle that I got really lucky with. And I think that was something that should have had me stuck for like an hour, and I got through it in minutes. And I feel like there was another puzzle like that too that I first tried really like crazy easy, but I didn't really I don't remember getting really terribly stuck in Silent Hill 1. The Zodiac puzzle had me scratching my head for a long time. And the puzzle with the different colored bars of soap with the poem on the wall, I struggled with that for a little bit, but it was only I was trying to put in the right solution, but I was trying to enter it in the wrong way, I think was my problem there. That was not one where I didn't know the answer. It was one of user error. But that was fun. That was fun. Silent Hill 2, I got stuck really badly a couple times. Zergling says, 4 scrambled eggs, a pound of chili, with a 1% chance of bone, with bone chunk every bite. 400 milliliters of raw milk. How was your dinner, Frownie? I had 2 PB&J sandwiches and a tall glass of milk. That was pretty good. Alright, let me get my head out of the way here. We're gonna get into this game very soon. I dislike all of them. I like the creatures, but for some reason the story and gameplay just rubbed me the wrong way. But there's not much to be helped there then, I suppose. Sorry, Gama. The story is what it is. Like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you the story of either game, really. I think in the first game, Harry Hills was looking for his lost daughter. And there's like a religious cult, and there's a police officer running around who's like your friend. I don't even remember how it ends. I don't even remember what happened. I remembered thinking that I got a bad ending, but I don't even remember what it was. There was some, like, medieval torture device in the middle of a room. I don't know. And the second game was the same thing, except the guy was looking for his wife, who was a ghost. One moment. I don't really like the combat in the Silent Hill games, but I don't really think you're supposed to. I like the puzzles though. I like walking around and solving the puzzles in the games. Alright, as promised, we're gonna press some buttons now. Thank you for the coffee, Jolly, by the way. Can't wait until I can enjoy that without being reduced to a pile of ash. I'd like to play Silent Hill 1 again someday, actually. And see if I could explore more and get a better ending. But there's a lot of other games to play first. Alright, it's probably gonna be a rocky start. It's I'm sure it's gonna take a while to get back into the swing of these controls. I'm doing pretty well landing on the enemies so far, though. It's a lot more difficult than it may seem to land your jumps where they belong. Or to land jumps that count on the enemies' heads. I'm dead.
This'll come in handy.
Nice. I know a ton of people love Silent Hill except Downpour and Homecoming. I'm just in the minority of it's just not for me. Hey, I'm that way with a lot of games, so... Zergling says, despite what anyone says, I still highly dislike Castlevania and think it's super overrated. An opinion not shared by many. Yeah, that's an opinion I wouldn't share with you. Castlevania is one of the few games where I actually have done a damageless run. Where, like, I mean, like, unlike Contra, you don't have to do it damageless. I actually went out of my way and did the extra step for that one. Hey, we're getting a raid. It's Chozo. I like that this game lets me stand still. That's a shockingly rare trait. Chozo Brain, thank you for the raid. I got every coin and monkey and ape escape. GG Chozo. I hope to follow in your footsteps soon enough. Really, really loving that game. Very good time. But tonight we're having a good time as well. We're playing Bubsy 3D. If you haven't been here for our playthrough of this amazing game, I'm actually really enjoying it. And we are on a mission to do a very complete playthrough. I'm attempting to 100% all the rockets in addition to all the atoms. The collectible the game doesn't even care enough to track, we are also 100%ing. So, buckle your seatbelts, my friends. It's gonna be quite the ride. Quite the long, tedious, janky ride. Bubsy 3D is off to a good start tonight. We've just been playing a few minutes. I've only complained of bogusness once so far, I think. So we're doing pretty well. This one platform that I'm standing on right now has a strong tendency to phase out of existence. I don't know what it is, but like, if you're standing at an angle where this platform is able to move off camera, it won't come back. It won't come back into frame on its own. You have to move the camera to pan for it to find it before it'll reappear. It's very weird. It doesn't behave like the other platforms. There's something off with it. I don't even know how a platform gets like that. Frownie's just built different, Kusarigama says. He really is, Choso agrees. Oh, thank you, cows. I appreciate you typing the shout out. I didn't mean to swoop it out from under you. The only Castlevania game I truly like is Symphony of the Night, Kusarigama says. That game is pretty that game is even as a huge fan of the series, that game is pretty middling for me. But I don't really care much for the ARPG Castlevanias in general. Particularly not compared to the platformers. See, look, where's that platform? There it is. When I moved the camera, it appears. But I just waited and waited. Bubsy 3D is greater than Symphony of the Night. I should title my next Bubsy stream that. That'll make a lot of people really happy. They'll all think I'm being sarcastic. I think we both typed at the same time and you won by a tiny bit. No. It wouldn't be sarcastic in my case. It probably wouldn't really be in mine either. I mean, Symphony of the Night is a better game than Bubsy 3D, don't get me wrong. But I think I'm having more fun with Bubsy 3D than I had with Symphony of the Night. Not that I disliked it, I just was, you know, underwhelmed, I guess. But I'd already played Circle of the Moon and Order of Ecclesia, so... I already had a fair bit of what I'd already experienced a fair bit of what that game does, so. If Symphony of the Night had been the first of that style of game that I'd played, I'd probably feel a lot. I'd probably feel a lot more enthusiastic about it. I am bad. I'm bad at this jump. I struggled with it last night too, or last time we played this. I just think Symphony of the Night is too easy, Chozo says. Yeah, I don't feel like I struggled with it too much. Hardest part is the second boss, but isn't it true that, but like, with any game that's kind of like that, with an experience and inventory system like that, like, don't they always have a pitfall of, like, they can become too easy if you don't actively prevent it? Because you could just grind to overpower yourself, or you could just pause and spam health items to get through everything, right? It's sort of inherent to a lot of those types of games. I mean, you can just cheese the game with broken items. That's a problem with games in general. Sometimes. You can cheese the original Castlevania like that for sure. As long as you're good enough to keep your broken item until you get to the part where you really need it. Holy water is the best item. It's pretty hard to top. It's pretty hard to top. Didn't realize you played Symphony of the Night, and yeah, all the DS games pretty much carbon copies. Yeah, we did Symphony of the Night. It was a long time ago. I think it's maybe been 2 years. I played it on the PSP. It's the PlayStation 1 game, but I have it downloaded onto the PSP. There's an alternate version on the PSP that has has different voice acting. I have that one as well. But we played the original for all the classic lines and deliveries. Can't even beat Frankenstein's monster in the imp thing without the holy water. That's pretty rough. I mean, if you show up, I think if you show up with a full-powered whip, and full health, I think you can wail on him and take him out faster than he can take you out if you don't have the holy water, but, I mean, getting there under both of those conditions is its own sort of problem. It's really hard to tell when I'm supposed to make this jump. I know it can be done. I've done this jump. But I can't do it now. I've already wasted 8 lives. I've already wasted 8 lives on this. Where'd the time go? Hang on. I pointed this out to people in a recent game. I purchased like 3 months ago. People complain, this item is broken. I can't help myself using it, so it needs to be nerfed. Keep in mind, it's single player. The other starter items were just bad, and I pointed out that if one item is high in power, should you not look at all the other starter items first and make it better before the nerf bat comes out? So don't make the one weaker, make all the other ones stronger. Oh, I don't know, my friends. I don't know. I might miss this jump so many times we game over. We've got to go over there. I don't have a choice about it, so... If that's what happens, then that's what happens. Did you play the WiiWare Castlevania? Yeah. What was that? Castlevania Rebirth. That and Contra I wish I would have gotten while they were available. Yeah, both of those, the Rebirth games. There's Contra, Castlevania, and Gradius, where WiiWare exclusives. And, Castlevania Rebirth is pretty good. It's, I've only played it the one time, so... I don't know. It's hard to say, like, where it stacks up against, like, other Castlevania games, but I feel like I didn't have a lot bad to say about it. I remember most of the game was pretty easy, but then the last, like, 2 stages were brutal. The Dracula fight was really rough. It took a lot out of me. It really only, like... I don't know why they bothered calling it a remake of Castlevania The Adventure, though, because it really only has the most tenuous of connection to that game. The other two, though, I haven't played. You balance the others before nerfing it outright, and all this... Right, now all the starters are just bad now. At least we got an Atom for that life. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. I don't remember struggling with. I remember not getting this jump first try, but I didn't remember struggling with it so badly before. I think Mega Man 9 was exclusive for as well for a bit. That I don't remember. I know I have Mega Man 9 on the Wii, but I've never really played it. I like the title theme to Mega Man 9 though. I've heard the music more than I've played the game because I had the soundtrack once upon a time. I had a version of it that was like the game music, and there was an orchestrated version of it as well. I don't think it was actually performed on real instruments though, the orchestrated one. I think it was still just, you know, digital imitations of more accurate digital imitations of real instruments. It's weird because, like I said, it's single player and they could just not use the item. There's no leaderboards or MP aspect, multiplayer aspect. It's a self-control problem. Alright, don't die. Hey, Pokemons, welcome in. I mean, there definitely is, like, you get more out of a game, the more, like, I think the more discipline you have with it, but there is a bit of give and take to that, too. I like a game more the more disciplined I am in my approach to it. But I'm also more disciplined in my approach to a game the more I like it. And so there's a degree to which a game has to force me to there's a degree to which a game has to force me to, like, respect it enough to discipline myself in my approach to it. Before, like there's a baseline from both sides before that process can really begin. I'm tempted to do game over, but only a clown would play this game. Not only play it, but enjoy it, Pokemons. I'm having fun. Especially now that I'm past that one jump and I hit another checkpoint. Things are really good now. But as per your request... Alright, now, we might be here a while, my friends, because I don't understand how to obtain this rocket. So until I figure this out now, because we have to collect this. After Austin Powers manually growing grass would be fun. We've done it. We've broke him. I just don't even understand what my problem is with this. I wish that this bouncy thing would go away. I'd be perfectly happy to just walk around the room. Christian Cool, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. Terrible at forcing myself to play different ways, Pookie says, even in single-player games. 90% of the weapons in the Metroid Castlevanias I don't use. I always end up using the same ones in each title. So repeated playthroughs are very samey. That's just me, though, Pookie says. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, where I can be a real creature of habit with a lot of games. And have a real, like, don't mess with success attitude. That's kind of why, I have such a hard time, like... I know that when we do more Dark Souls or whatever, like people have talked about how, you know, Dark Souls is fun on repeated playthroughs to experiment with different builds and stuff like that. And I kind of think, like, knowing myself, I'm never going to do that. I'm just going to be... The only way I'm going to experiment with different weapons is if one of the sequels forces me to. Because given at the very first opportunity that I can pick up a shield and an axe, like, that's all I'm going to use for the rest of the game. But, like, it depends on the game, right? Because, like, I love Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and so, like, part of that is, like, I'm inspired. I'd really love to do more mono weapon playthroughs of that game. Even though most of the weapons are trash, I could sit myself down and force myself to, like, play through with each of those terrible weapons exclusively at some point, I think. I don't think there's any way to do this. I think this is an impossible task. I think this rocket is broken. This is why no one 100%'s Bubsy 3D. At least it's purple. Does it come across the trampoline? Does it come across purple on your end? Against the floor tiles, it just reads as blue to me. The only way I'll play Dark Souls is with the Black Knight Halberd. What did I use? I used the Gargoyle Halberd. I used the axe until the axe seemed to be able to take me no further, and then I switched to the gargoyle halberd, and that was it. Those two and the crossbow were really the only weapons I used the whole game, I think. I don't think I touched anything else really. I might have had a sword for a minute, but oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I have to... It seemed to me like I got closer. Had 2 nonsensical random private messages on here in the past couple weeks. Wondering if bots are slowly becoming a worse problem on here. I don't know. I've gotten some random unsolicited messages every now and then, but I don't know if I've ever received anything with a high degree of nonsense. But that's not to say the bots just haven't found me yet. Oh my goodness, I don't understand this puzzle. Welcome to the rest of our lives. Just ignore them, Pokemon says. Bubsy 3D, what have you done to me? Like when games provide more choices rather than take them away. Dark Souls example of Black Knight Halberd. People rallying and removing all Black Knight weapons because they're too effective. Or nerf them to require double stats. I wasn't aware of this happening. I'm very late to the Dark Souls party. Or like the shield example, unless you have the top-rated shield, you only block 30% of damage. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think Kusarigama, because I'm not really, like, it's really a foreign concept to me, the idea of a game being altered after release due to a player base's demands. It's like It's hard for me to even wrap my head around the idea. So in either direction, I don't really fully know what I think. Super Mario 64 2, there's an obvious way to beat the level, yet 100 ways to do it. He beat ONS with a crossbow. He knew his choices and he went with that. Well, I kind of didn't. I mean, I did do that, but I mean, the part about knowing my choices were either to use a halberd or to use a crossbow, really. That's what I had, that's what I'd kind of become ingrained with, so I just thought, I don't know, it I really like that that's such a silly thing. Did he know his choice? That's what I'm trying to get at, Cows. I really like that's like such a mind-blowing thing to so many people that's how I defeated that boss. But the thing is, like, for me at the time, it seemed like the most rational decision. I didn't feel like I was doing anything odd or ridiculous. Many players would not look at those bosses and go, yeah, crossbow. But I mean, my logic for it was that I wanted to keep my distance from them. Like, I think the way that I approached it was sound. I had to fight two guys at the same time. I was never going to get them apart from each other. So if I fought them from a distance, at least I could keep an eye on where they both were at the same time. I don't know. I can't really say how much thought I put into it either. The crossbow... If I'm really being honest, the crossbow wasn't a well thought out plan. It was instinct. And I'm trying to justify it after the fact. You've seen me play games. You know that I never have a plan. And when I do, I never stick to it.
It's a bird! It's a plane!
The plan is there is no plan. Yeah, exactly. I approve of the crossbow, Kasarigama says. I used the crossbow. I think I used the crossbow on 4 bosses. I went crossbow only. The gargoyles, the fire sage, ONS, and who else did I use the crossbow for? Maybe 3. I feel like there is another one, but I'd only think of 3. I'd only think of 3 for sure. At the moment. And that's the thing with Dark Souls, you can beat the whole game with the broken sword you start with if you really want to. Well, I'm certainly not doing that challenge. I loved my Dark Souls playthrough, and I want to play more and more Souls games, but I'm never going to be the master of the game that does like challenge runs and stuff like that. That's for sure. You also have to take into account for my decision-making process with everything that comes into Dark Souls. Again, like, there weren't really a lot of conscious decisions being made. I was going on instinct for the whole playthrough pretty much. But a factor that would have affected, like, my subconscious decision-making, a major factor, is I never learned to dodge, so... If the crossbow seems like a wacky choice to you, does it seem more reasonable if you consider you had to do it without dodging? We all say that, but we all know you will unwittingly do some kind of weird challenge in Dark Souls 2. Hand-to-hand combat only. Welcome back, Chozo. Got some falafel and Lebanese bread, Chozo says. Right on. I don't know that I've ever really... I don't think I've ever had falafel. I don't even know what it is. Bow only for a boss in Dark Souls 3.
He floats through the air.
I really wish I could turn the camera while I was bouncing, but... it does not work like that. I don't understand this puzzle. Bubsy 3D, why do you have to make me pull my hair out? Small me assumed falafel was like a waffle. Kid rhyming logic was very incorrect. Well, I would have to assume that learning to dodge would make my life a lot easier because everyone dodges in Dark Souls. I feel like I'm the one person on the planet who never learned to dodge. So I assume it would make my life easier, but I picked up a shield and that worked for me, and so I never stopped. Chickpeas with spices and then fried. And put it on the bread with some hummus. Isn't hummus also chickpeas? And a spicy sauce. Right on. Dodge and parry make Dark Souls way easier. I did learn to parry. I did learn to parry real early on, but at some point I kind of stopped using that too. It's awful that's filled with more awful. Full awful. That is a joke, Pokemon says. I might have to come back to this rocket later. I don't know that I'm smart enough to figure this out right now. And maybe if I leave and come back, maybe I'll encounter another situation later in the game that gives me an idea about how these things... gives me a better idea about how these things work, and I can be successful. Well, if I do Dark Souls again, and I expect I will someday, though whether I do that before or after Dark Souls 2, I couldn't tell you. The whole point would be to find areas that I didn't find before. I don't know that I don't know that I'm going to... I am going to allow audience input for a second playthrough, but I think we're going to only handle that through me asking yes and no questions. I'm not gonna blanket open the floor to tips or hints. Everyone will feed me too much info all the time if I do that. So we'll set up a system where I'll make it really clear that I'm letting the wall down, and I'll ask questions for a limited time. But even if I'm being helped out at request, I still only want the bare minimum. We'll probably do something where I'll have a special icon or something. Well, we don't do icons for full screen games. I don't know. I'll probably have a piece of artwork or something that I'll put on the screen, or like a transparent thing that I'll activate to signal that it's Q&A time. That'll probably be the rule. But we'll see, we'll see. Maybe if I play Dark Souls 2 and or 3 before I go back to Dark Souls 1, maybe I'll learn so much on those playthroughs that I'll naturally be able to go back and figure out more of Dark Souls 1. Perhaps my brain will grow and I'll yeah, something like that, Pokemons. bare minimum, so a cub then. But that's a ways off, so I've got time to... I want to see you struggle more in the locations you missed. Yeah, I do want to find them and check them out. Well, there's not a big chance of me saying that one by accident. All right. I've got to do something else for a while. Just I gotta get away from this rocket for a while. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I'll do something else for now. Might be. There still could be a... See, the thing is, there still could be a switch hidden somewhere in the level that I didn't find. That maybe turns off that trampoline. I thought about that on our last trip through the level. That might be the solution, so... Maybe wherever the last couple atoms are hidden, there's also a switch. That's what I'm going to choose to think. Oh, I don't think I ever made it to that area behind the power plug either, so... Yeah, who knows what's in there. Rip. The music is classic PlayStation 1 bad 3D platformer music, Pokemon says. I don't hate the music. It's a little low, it's a little quiet. Part of the trouble is sometimes the game gets really loud. The volume is real inconsistent. I find that might be... I don't know, I find that with a lot of games on discs, that the volume levels are kind of all over the place. It's really bad with GameCube games. I'm sure it's some quirk of my setup that makes it that way, but... Reminds me of Gex or Croc or something. Still haven't played either of those. I have both of them. I have some Gex games on the N64, and I think I have Croc 1. I think I have Croc 2. But haven't ever played either of those yet. So I haven't gotten through here yet. Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. That's not the situation I thought it was. Well, I don't know what's up. I thought that was a secret room. It's not. It's just dividing us from somewhere we have been. That's what happens. I fall asleep and I forget everything I learned previously. Those hard restarts, they corrupt so many sectors of my memory.
An X-Man.
Rascal. I think I owned that game a long time ago. I don't know that one. Bogus. Oh, it's painful. Get out of here. I wonder if it's ever gonna happen. Because like one of my favorite things to say to the enemies in the game is "get out of here." I wonder if it's ever gonna happen that as I'm playing, I'm gonna say that to an enemy right after someone puts a message in the chat for the first time, and then they're gonna think I'm talking to them, and they just think, "Wow, Agent Frownie is the biggest jerk on Twitch," and I'll never see him again. No. I had something similar happen at a pedestrian walkway. Light turned green. I'm distracted by this bee. This girl walked by and yelled, "Get away from me!" And physically avoiding the bee when she walked by. Got called a jerk until I explained there was a bee. Oh. That's like a, it's like a bit from Seinfeld or something.
Just like Mom used to make.
Your real life doesn't have your real life doesn't have a soundtrack and bass music, does it, Pokemon's? If you ever see someone pushing carts at a grocery store and then they abandon the carts and run the opposite direction, it was a bee. Yeah, I would pull some pretty desperate maneuvers to escape a stinging insect. I'm not eager to be stung.
Geronimo!
We get a lot of wasps and hornets around our house. It's awful. I have to go out regularly and investigate for signs of new nests being constructed, or it gets pretty yucky out there. I can't let them establish a stronghold within my territory. Gotta be ever vigilant. Hey, Derek Ocean, welcome in. Welcome to Bubsy. Hoping you are well tonight. I'm very surprised there seems to be no way to deactivate this power plug, but we can use this to run back out there. I was thinking for a moment, oh my goodness, do I have to use this thing to... I might have to use it to run back out. I shouldn't collect it. But I was thinking, do I have to use this? Do I have to collect that and run all the way over to where that trampoline is before it runs out? That's 20 seconds to get to the opposite side of the map. There's no way. It's not humanly possible. But if there's a switch over here that turns off that trampoline, maybe. Maybe I do need that to get back out, so I'll not collect it if I can avoid it. Oh, please, stop shooting me. Work was busy tonight, and it rained like crazy. We've got some snow happening up here. We've got a lot of wind and snow. If you go outside, it's like a blizzard is sweeping in sideways. It's pretty wild. Bubsy 3D is so far pretty good. As long as the game, like if the game doesn't deviate too much from what it's been up to this point. I don't. I mean, I feel pretty positive about this game. I am aware it could always get much worse, but up until this point, it's been a good time, this game. Oops. You need to invent a wormhole just to put inside of this game? What? Seems like you have the controls nailed down. Well, you say that immediately after I walk off of the platform. I feel like I'm getting pretty comfortable with the controls, though. I am, in general. I was just being lazy and hasty there, but I've got a fairly good grip on them. Went to the mall to see a movie, Derek says. Right on. It's been a very long time since I've done any regular mall visiting. Our mall didn't even have a movie theater when I was younger. The Beekeeper. Speaking of bees. I haven't heard of this film, though. Hopefully it was a good time. Haven't seen a movie in theaters since the last Spider-Man movie, Chozo says. The last movie I saw in the theater was John Wick 4. And before that, the last movie I saw was Avengers Endgame. And the last movie before that, I don't even know. Probably something back in 2010. Maybe Avatar. I probably saw something else in there too. I think I watched I think we saw at least one of the Fantastic Beasts movies in theaters. The first one, at least. I only make a trip to the theater once every few years. It's a very long way of saying I only go to the theater once every few years. The new Willy Wonka movie is my last one. I was invited, Pokemon says. I've been reading that book. The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've been reading a lot of Roald Dahl books. Because I have a second grade reading level. That movie is pretty good, Pokemon says, but don't be surprised if you want to grab some chocolate after the show. The Beekeeper is an action flick with my guy Jason Statham, Derek says. I don't know if I don't think I've seen any of his movies. Oh, no, I have. What are those movies? Is Jason Statham is the guy in Crank, right? Where he's gotta keep his heart going. I saw those movies. I think that's him. Found you got a deal on Tears of the Kingdom? You won't guess how much it was. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how much you find modern games for used. They mentioned the fact that I don't have money to go to the movies anymore, and how terrible that is. I think John Wick 4 was the last movie I saw too, Pookie says. Do regret missing Equalizer 3 and the newest Godzilla movie. Yeah, it's pretty, you know, movie prices are pretty outrageous. Theater prices are. I don't have a huge interest in going to theaters in general because, you know, I'm kind of a stay-at-home kind of guy a lot of the times. At any rate, I don't necessarily feel particularly comfortable being in large groups of strangers, so the theaters aren't really my scene, generally speaking. But on top of that, they are also quite expensive, and that's makes it easier to not be interested, you know. The last time we did this level, I was missing one atom, or I was missing 2 atoms. I think I'm gonna end up missing 1 this time. How is this even possible? Because there are 2 up there, and I don't see anywhere where another one could possibly be. Oh, maybe over there. There might be a platform over there with one on it. Because I think I did nothing but... well, that looks empty. See, I think I did nothing but blunder over there. I am. I'm going to be 1 short of 200. Jump into the thing. Hateful Eight was mine, Kusarigama says. I haven't seen that one. Wanted to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but never did. It's a lot I want to see in, it's a lot I want to see in the theaters in March, Derek says. I never got into reading. I do plenty of it on Twitch and playing games, Pokemon says. I do more and I do less. I've been heavily in a less phase for a very long time. So working my way through these working my way through this Roald Dahl set is a good way to like get back into the habit of it. I'm one of the... I love reading, but I'm one of those people that needs uninterrupted quiet to do it in, and that has been an incredibly short supply lately, Cal says. Yeah, I have to have it... I actually have to have it pretty quiet in order to read. I can't have any, I can't have any speech going on near me. I can't read while hearing language of any kind. I can, you know, like some instrumental music is fine, but if if there's a television or people chattering anywhere near me, then it's a lost cause. I guess my internal monologue just isn't all that loud. It's easy to drown out. Oh yeah, you told me that story. Pokemon's. That there are some awfully dramatic twists to that one. I do recall. You know the worst part about making a mistake in this game? It means you have to play more Bubsy 3D now. Have to. Get to. I'm gonna make mistakes in this game all the time. Just you watch. And they'll all be just as intentional as I'm making it sound.
I needed that.
The invisibility doesn't protect you from the... I really am gonna have to do this whole level all over again. I mean, get to do this whole level all over again. That was entirely intentional. Throwing for content. I thought for sure that was supposed to get me back out of here. I really do have to repeat the whole level for one atom. I had to repeat it because I missed 2, and now I have to repeat it because I missed 1. This is horrifying. There's really no way to jump past this. Alright, I'm gonna burn one more life. I'm gonna burn one more life trying this. Because I really don't think it's gonna work to try and jump past. It almost seemed like it could, though. It almost seemed like it could. Alright, I think what we'll do is play the next level and then come back to this one, so we'll at least break the monotony a bit. Let me look around, though. Let me make absolutely sure there's no other way out of here. Yeah, it's really frustrating to have a door like to have a one-way door like that, and that happens. That happens quite a lot. Crispy cat. I thought that, when I started to read that Pokemon's, I thought that... I thought that was gonna be working towards some sort of joke about Chris Pratt voicing Bubsy in a CGI movie. I thought that was the direction that was gonna head. He is gonna voice Garfield? Close enough. He stole that from a pig on the news. Crispy bacon. I can't believe I've gotten myself into the situation of having to do this whole thing yet one more time. I don't know where I could have missed a thing, though. I was so thorough.
Alien abduction? Been there, done that.
That's the sound of those things growing back. I don't know what that was for a moment. I love how Bill Murray is self-aware that he regrets doing Garfield, Kusarigama says. I think I saw the first Garfield movie. I don't think I saw the second one. I don't remember thinking too much of it. You don't see Bill Murray much after those movies. Zombieland, and that's about it. Part 2 is okay, but 1 was better. Enjoyed the first. Part 2 not so much, Derek says. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't really remember it. Did the pig world in Bubsy 2 named Ham-A-Lot make you giggle? I feel I just, at some point with Bubsy 2, like, I had an overload of the pun titles. They really just kind of washed past me without a lot of impact. That was the night I learned you can have too much of a good thing. He did come back to Ghostbusters, luckily, Derek says. It's too little too late for me. On that one. Like the first live-action Garfield movie, Chozo says. Wish they made it for adults and not for kids. Alright. Next level. Pun overload with you? Who are you, sir? And what have you done with my friend? Thank you for the wheel, Derek. Warheads. Let's go. We got Green Apple. I did Lost in Translation years ago, which is a classic, Chozo says. Haven't seen that one. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh. I stretched and a muscle in my side wasn't ready for it. That, this warhead is a lot more potent than I've had in a while. It feels like it had more of that powder on it. Alright, that was a good one. That was a good one. That one got me. And now I get to do another underwater stage. How do these work? Up, down. This one has started us off with a lot of oxygen comparatively. Hey Tuesday, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, Master Tuesday. I'm finishing up candy now, so you get to wait a bit on the pistachios. And if I forget, you can remind me in a couple minutes. I'll be happy to enjoy those, just my taste buds are currently occupied.
What's the number for 911?
Awesome. Awesome. Love that. Love that starfish. Well, I'm dead anyway. It's always interesting to see which day of the week you were born. I was born on a Wednesday. Pokemon says. Well, I'm not sure what day of the week Master Tuesday was born on, but I am sure that whatever day it was a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was a Tuesday, yeah. Yep, that's... It had to be. What if Master Tuesday was born on a Tuesday? Wednesday, Kusarigama says. Alright, let's have those pistachios. I think we'll have the chili lime pistachios. Or chili lemon, I think they are. Chili lemon. On the day I was born, at the age of 4, Tuesday says. I'm not sure what day of the week it was for me. I heard on the day I was born there was a terrible snowstorm, though. And it was the first time it had snowed in that area for like 100 years. Or something like that. And the military had to clear the roads because they didn't have any snowplows. Or snowplow drivers. Hey, Buddha Fingers, welcome in. The game looks frozen. Is this pause for concern? Very well done. So, Florida, then. My father actually made front page news on the day he was born, Tuesday says. It sounds like it fits the snow-loving Frownie. I never thought. Maybe that's a crucial part of my origin story. California, Texas, and Florida, places with no snow blowers or snow plows, Kusarigama says. Bad news for Jelly if you're going the Mr. Freeze arc. Things do seem to trend that way. I already say to people, ice to meet you when I show up at a party. I forgot about Bubsy. Welcome in, Subject Omega. It's Bubsy night. Bubsy night all night tonight. Bubsy 3D. Rock and roll. My sister and I are 12 years apart. It's pretty wild. Yeah, that's quite the, it's quite the age gap. My sister and I are like half that. We're like between 5 and 6 years apart. Alright, well, I've got a puzzle to solve over there. Oh, I disagree. Oh, it looks like a big tablet to me. I was thinking like a Dr. Mario pill for the oxygen tank. But I can see lipstick too.
How cute!
Heartburn Pokemons. Yeah, I hope you find something to take care of that. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Precisely. What?
Jingle bells!
This is impossible. This is impossible. What is going on? I am very irritated. These enemies, this is not how this works. They're invincible. Alright, those enemies there are invincible. I refuse. The game broke, by the way. I can't move anymore. This just gets better and better. Finally, I can move again. I don't know what went on. I was just locked in place. None of the buttons would do anything for a minute. That oxygen capsule gave me nothing. Nothing. I think I had less oxygen after I hit it than I did yeah, I had less after I hit it than I did before. Okay, so there must be a breakable wall somewhere in regard to this. I guess it could be a teleport. Oh, that thing opens it, probably. I don't know. It's a breakable wall. Oops. This actually took me somewhere useful. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. not gonna be able to get any more oxygen, so I guess extra lives are like the next best thing. Maybe I won't even get those. I didn't know there were water stages here. Yeah, there's a lot of water stages in this game. This is the third one so far. D4 Wave Breaker Die. Pterapod D4. I don't know what this is. I don't know what these products are. Tetrapod. Oh, I'm never gonna have enough oxygen to hit all 4 of those. This is a joke. I'm gonna have to find 20 oxygen tanks before I have that much. Oh, a raid's coming in. Wow, cows, you were quick on the draw with that shout out. Nar Blast, welcome in, Nar. Thank you for the raid. Very pleased to have you here, my friend. What were you working on? How did it treat you? I was actually lurking in your stream yesterday or the day before. I don't think you knew I was there. I was you were still finishing up Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And I guess you finished it. I had you up while I was laying down for a nap, and you were playing something different when I woke up. So I think you finished it. You were you're at the end there where you had to get you were trying to find generals for like those last few territories, and everything was terrible. It was a disaster. Hopefully I'm right that it's conquered and dead now though. Cough medicine caught up to me. I was falling asleep on stream and had to cut it short. Oh my goodness. I wish you a quick recovery. Finish that, then finish Scat. Oh, 2 games. Nice. And finish Rad Racer tonight. And start up RoboCop 3. You are moving right along. Nar, by the way, my friends, has a project to finish all the NES games, to do them as blind as possible, with real carts on real hardware. It is a very admirable task, and he is very far along. And much further along even than I thought, knocking out so many games. It's nice to get back to actually completing games. Yeah, Romance of the Three Kingdoms took like close to 100 hours. I don't know how you did it. That was so rough. 416 now. Need to find a meme game for 420. Clocked in at just under 90. Just all right. So not quite to 100, but I'm sure even at around 90, I'm sure it felt like 900. Other than Bases Loaded, it's the longest running game. It's in the running for the longest running game so far. I don't know anything about Bases Loaded, but I'm surprised. I mean, it's a baseball game. I would have thought that. I would have thought that. I wouldn't have expected a baseball game to take that long. 82 game season? Oh my goodness. All right. Alright. My goodness, that's a lot of baseball. Well, all the GGs to you, my friend. That's a lot. That's a lot of games to take down back to back. Very impressive. Uh, that's kind of good game design, showing you where breakable walls. I gotta catch up on the chat here. There's a few things I missed. Showing where the walls are by showing you that there's stuff within the walls. Pookie says, yeah, it does that for you sometimes. It's not always that generous, like with its hints, though. Some of the breakable walls you just have to figure out through context. You just by being lucky enough to notice that there's an atom near a suspicious looking wall, and then figuring that out before you collect the atom. Because you see, it's really bad game design that you have to use atoms to break walls, and if you accidentally collect the one that's supposed to be used to break a wall, you have to do the whole level again. It's really yucky. What's a tetrapod, Derek asked. Look it up on Google. The best thing I can compare it to is a wave breaker. Best thing I can say about Bubsy is it's starting to make those underwater earthworm gym stages look reasonable, Buddhafinger says. I don't know. I actually don't know what I hate worse. It's like a three-sided pyramid if you remove the faces at all the corners and pointed to the center of the object. Finished bases loaded 1 and 2. Both had full season win conditions. So both of those are high up there as far as game time. Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest marathons. 40 to 8 hours of grinding minimum, Poco says. Final Fantasy didn't take that long. I want to say Dragon Warriors 1 and 2 are around 40 hours or so. I did, Derek. I did miss it. You got Tears of the Kingdom for $40. Right on. Oh no. We finished Zelda. We finished Tears of the Kingdom. It's been a while. It's been a while on that one. I did save all the story till the end, but we did the story. We did do the story. I saved it all till the end. That was like, oh my goodness. That was like 270 hours, that playthrough. It was forever. I was playing that game forever. But yeah, we finished that last year. A couple months before the end of the year. And then I've been playing a lot of trash stuff. I've been playing Dora the Explorer and Strawberry Shortcake and Austin Powers, and now I'm deep into the bottom of the Bubsy well. This is our last Bubsy 3D is the last Bubsy game I'm doing for a while, though. I'm gonna play more of them someday if I ever get a way to play Jaguar games. If I get a Jaguar or something that can emulate the Jaguar, then we'll do that, and then we'll do some of the other Bubsy games with it. But this is the last. We did Bubsy 1 and 2, and the 3 is going to be the last one for now. I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go from here. I only played the SNES Bubsy game, and I didn't play it for that long. Wise move. Wise move. It's pretty intolerable. Derek says, I'm playing Breath of the Wild now. I'm really determined to beat it since I got Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I loved playing through both of those games. Breath of the Wild was a really good time for me, and I like Tears of the Kingdom even more. That game, I like what they did with that game. It's a lot of fun. Decided to delete my data. I'm going to enjoy Breath of the Wild from the very beginning, Pokemon says. After 3+ years of not being able to practice, I'm going to be terrible at games. Well, generally speaking, I feel like the challenge level of Breath of the Wild is all in all pretty low. I mean, it's one of those things where it can be as difficult as it can be kind of as difficult as you want it to be, I guess, but I think Dark Souls is easier than Breath of the Wild, Pokemon says. I guess we all have our strengths and weaknesses. In most cases, anyway.
What big teeth you have!
Gonna head out and watch the VOD. I'm gonna chill with some Animal Crossing, Subject Omega says. Well, it was good to see you, my friend. I hope that you have a wonderful time with Animal Crossing. That's a game I would really like to play some more of. I would do, we should do Animal Crossing, we should do Animal Crossing on GameCube. Go back to the start. I wonder if I could handle that. I've never really played that one. I've never really played the GameCube Animal Crossing. I have a little bit of secondhand experience with it because my buddy had it in high school and got into it for a while, and so I kind of rode along for some of his play of that game, but only a little. Snowboy season just ended, and now it's bamboo season. I put 1,200 hours into Animal Crossing New Horizons in about, I don't know, the space of like maybe 8 months. It was less than a year. I played the game for less than a year, and I put 1,200 hours in it. And I played it from day one with no time travel. So if you ever have your doubts about my ability to endure repetition, tedium, and no content, let me assure you, I have a core as solid as iron. Yeah, basically the entire time during lockdown. That's it. That's it. I was, at New Horizons was my more than full-time job.
Hey, I'm walking here.
We have another raid coming in. Zinchan. Always great to see you. I'm planning not to time travel this time. Last time I had Nyland time traveled, made the game less fun. Yeah. It just seemed, I don't know, I just seemed like the best thing to do was not to time travel. Even though that meant I spent hours just mindlessly doing the same thing. I spent a lot of time fishing, I can tell you that. Just mindlessly doing the same things. Hey, we got a rocket already. That's nice. There's Zinchan. Welcome in. More Bubsy, more like bubbly. Oh my. Unfortunately, it is. I find myself submerged once more. The water levels. The water levels have grown on me less than the rest of the game. They're not completely devoid of merit, but they do frustrate me very much.
Chompers!
The underwater combat in particular is very difficult. I don't know why my nose itches so much. On either side, I can't stop that. Probably because I won't stop scratching it. On both sides of my nose, like right where it meets my mustache. It's driving me wild. I wonder how many bells you accumulated. Oh my goodness, yeah. I never had to worry about money ever at all. I just bought everything all the time. I felt like I was basically Bruce Wayne. Allergic to Bubsy, Cow says. Say it isn't so. Give me a second diagnosis, doc. I don't think I've ever seen more than the first level of this game. While there's an underwater level. This is the third one. This is the third time I've been trapped underwater, too. It is a significant portion of the game. Oh, it's so rude, Zinchan. How's Ape Escape 3 going? I hope that game's treating you really well. I'm kind of hiding out from that one, because it's, I expect I'll probably play it someday, if I'm lucky. I believe you came in when we were playing Ape Escape 1, so, I believe you've even joined us for a piece of that playthrough yet. But I'm loving Ape Escape 1 very much. Almost as much as Bubsy 3D, so I'm already hoping I'll be able to play the other games at some point down the line.
That's better.
I can't even fish in that game. Anticipating the catch stresses me out too much, apparently, Pokemon says. Omega says, I'm not going to deny it is absolutely tedious, but I like that I could just do my own thing. The very first thing that I did in New Horizons was to go absolutely wild with trees. My entire island was fruit trees immediately. That was a decision that I regretted the moment I needed space to do anything, but I don't know. I didn't think things out very well. Currently going with produce, break the market through agriculture. Yeah, that was a benefit though. That was because I was able to, you know. It's not the most efficient way to make money, perhaps, to just relying on fruit, but it does make money.
Overbite City!
Oh, there's the end of the stage. The underwater combat is so painful. I never had a chance. I never had a chance against that dogfish. What was I supposed to do? I was trying desperately to get some distance so that I could turn around and fight, and it wiped me out before I could get anywhere. Oh, it's horrible. With the combat, basically, with the combat, you've just got to be resigned to losing a life for every enemy that you take down. The enemies don't respawn when you die, so it's like, well, I'm gonna throw this life away to eliminate one enemy, so my next life has a 1% better chance. And you just have to say that to yourself over and over again. Because taking out enemies almost always just kills you. Alright, let me catch up. There's a lot of chat here for, it's a lot of longer messages for me to read through real quick. Omega says prefer Splatoon 2 to 3. And I hate ranked in Splatoon. Don't really care about the objective. Just want to mess around and do my own thing. Splatoon 3's map design really doesn't allow that. St. John says, Ape Escape 3 is good. About halfway through. Have to finish it when I get back from vacation. Oh, a vacation. Very nice. I hope that if that involves travel, I imagine it must. I hope that that goes safely and smoothly and you have a really good time. Angry Video Game Nerd did a video on this, but apparently didn't even bother playing to the water levels because there's no mention of them in his video. So I was shocked when Frownie ended up randomly in an underwater level at a certain point, Pookie says. Yeah, I haven't seen his stuff on Bubsy. Maybe he didn't finish the game. Might have been in the area where the script was written for him, Zinchan says. That was so cheap. It's rough. It's rough. Dillerike, welcome in. Good to see you again. I hope you are well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm playing Bubsy 3D, and I'm having more fun with it than I think I'm supposed to be. That I think is supposed to be allowed. Only time I ever try and travel is if I want to 100% the museum, Omega says. Yeah, I didn't I don't recall getting all that far with the museum. So I said that I got all that time in less than a year, and that's mostly true. I did put the game down for a long time and come back to it for a short while after some of the updates rolled in. So when I say I put all that time in less than a year, there's an asterisk by that, because I did spend a little bit of time with it after a gap. Greg, welcome in. Hope you are well, my friend. Getting tired of random chance in games. Despite my name, Pokemon really makes me angry, Pokemon says. 2% HP, Ultra Ball, and all the other modifiers on my side. 72% chance of catching a Pokemon, and it still doesn't happen after 50 balls. Oh my goodness. Internet went down, Greg says. I'm glad it's back and that you've found your way to us. At least with Final Fantasy, you can offset the random chance of grinding. May change my name to Final Fantasy. Well, I see that name appear in the chat. I'll try and remember who it belongs to. If you watch the Angry Video Game Nerd for anything other than entertainment values, Ergling says you're going to be in for disappointment. Yeah. I mean, I think James Rolfe himself would probably agree with that. Done. Final Fantasy, welcome in. My breakable wall sense is tingling. Oh, I was wrong. Well, what do you know? I was pretty certain that was a breakable wall. Good thing I didn't put any money on it. So this is a 100% playthrough of Bubsy 3D. We are trying to get all the rockets, and I'm trying to get all the atoms. There are 200 atoms on every level. The game doesn't even track the atoms, but aside from giving you a count while you're on the level, like they're not recorded globally. So I'm really collecting the atoms just for the love of the sport. It's adding a lot of pain to this playthrough too. Greg says, I've never taken his opinions too seriously. His first video was slamming Simon's Quest, a game I've liked since it came out. They did, I will have to say that I do have a degree of gratitude for how many extra lives they've scattered throughout this level. While this level has, like the other underwater levels, been an annoying, janky mess, I feel like I've picked up a lot of extra lives. So they watched out for me a little bit. There's another life over there, but we'll get it later. There's also some atoms over there, so I know I'll have to go that direction eventually. Being repeatedly fired upon by these guys. Can I? This turbine is out of control. I feel like there might actually be more than 200 atoms on this stage, because there's a ring of 10 atoms still left to collect, and I don't know, I only need 20 left. I only need 20 yet, and there's a bunch over here yet. Castlevania 2 had some good music for sure. Final Fantasy says. It was so hard not to say Pokemons. Even though I'm looking at the new name. You call me what you want, I make my own rules. I really should practice my fishing and bug catching. I want those transformation ones. It's been, like I said, it's been great to have you, Subject Omega. I wish you lots of luck in Animal Crossing. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. And hopefully we'll see you again. Uh-oh. For my thoughts about, oh. There are so many. There are so many. There are so many atoms. I'll never have to worry. There's a ring of 10 of them and all that. Well, the thing about that, there's a rocket over there. There's a life over there. Wait a minute. The ring of atoms is not the same as the individual atoms. There's something about this game that I don't know yet. Interesting. And here I thought you were joking about changing your name, Greg says. That last second grab for the oxygen. So if I'm gonna hit all of those switches, I really need to double, triple, quadruple check the order. And I'm gonna have to find more oxygen tanks. It had to go. This is the way. Oh, I never got all these atoms. Okay, I can at least check the statue again. If I do nothing else. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Normally I would use pen and paper to write my notes, but if it's just 4 letters. type it quickly enough. Yellow, green, blue, red. I don't know if we're supposed to work top to bottom or bottom to top, so it is going to take multiple tries. I too have felt the pain of yellow, green, blue, red. Igber. I don't know where the thing is. There's a couple different air vents, but I don't know where they stand in relation to one another. I don't think it's near to another one, though. Oh. I might know of a quick way to get to it. Well, I probably don't want to get to it quickly, though, because I need to pick up oxygen tanks on the way there. Probably need 800 or 900 air to do it. I'm guessing those are emotes of the color of the 4 colors. They don't show up in my browser. There's some like standard emotes that just they don't, for whatever reason, I guess because my Chrome is wonky. They never show up. They just read as circles. Oh, hang on. Here's a good moment. 200! This stage is cleared of atoms. The annoying collectible has at least been collected. So we won't have to redo this stage a million times. I might have to come back for the rocket, but if bad things continue to happen, but they're indeed yellow, green, blue, red hearts. Yeah, I don't know why. There's just that, there's a set of emotes that don't work. People use them frequently too, and I never know what they're trying to say. Because they just show up as generic. They actually look like volume icons. It's not really it's not a circle, it's like a part of a circle with some, like, crescents next to it. It's... I'm gonna spend trying to get to this more than I'm gonna gain from it. Yellow, green, blue, red. Igber. Igber, Igber. I can't find the turbine. I think I've been calling them vents, and that's in no way an accurate term. The fans. Do they really have to put an enemy over here too? Yellow. Green. Blue. Red. Oh, thank goodness. We did it first try. Got the rockets. We are out of here, my friends. Bubsy level cleared. First one of the night. I've only been playing for 3 hours and I finally cleared a level. Thank you for the trophies. Thank you, thank you. World record pace. Let's go. You ever managed to nab a world record, Frownie? No. I've never really seriously gone for one in any game or category. I have one in a game hardly anyone plays. Yeah, I could probably get one. I could probably get one in like a default situation for clearing a. Yeah, I might by default be the record in a Strawberry Shortcake or Dora game. Yep, yeah. I don't have a strong drive for setting records. I like to complete challenges, but I like doing them in my own way, and time to do it has just not been much of an interesting metric to me. If I were gonna go for like a competitive record performance, I would probably be more interested in like setting a record for like highest score than I would fastest time. I don't think you'll see me chasing either scenario anytime soon. can't come backwards, so I need to double, triple, quadruple check everywhere before I move on. Because somehow, I still missed an atom last time, and that just... I don't know how I found one more than I did the time before, is the thing. I found 198, and then I found 199. Well, they basically always come in at least pairs, typically in significantly larger groups. It's baffling. Baffling. You know what? I think I actually might have missed that one that I just collected right now. I don't remember ever jumping onto this platform before. That's probably wishful thinking, that it would be so simple. I'm dead. Let's go ahead and stand here a moment so I can go ahead and cut my VOD a little early for a change.